So Republicans are back at it. This time they're dreaming up ways to terrify immigrants. Don't believe me? Check this guy out.
A migrant judge, and I saw that Trump won. I'd pack my bags and get on the first flight to Nicaragua, because here's the other option. 6 a.m., ICE knocks on your door, puts you in a van. You haven't brushed your teeth, you haven't packed. Maybe your wife had already left for work. Where's she now? So they're going to put you in a van, they're going to take you to a military base where there's going to be hundreds of other migrants who aren't going to be very happy, and they're going to probably have you there for 3 to 4 weeks until they put you on a flight and send you back to Nicaragua. And then you have to do the walk of shame. If you go back on your own terms and you arrive at the village, you can say, you know what, Boston wasn't for me, didn't like the food, let me regale you with my adventures in Estados Unidos. You could do it that way, or you could do it the other way. It's their choice at this point.
That was Jesse Waters. He's so charming, right? I don't know what's more racist, everything he said, or the fact that he said the guy from Nicaragua was going back to his village. What the hell is wrong with these people? And there's more of them.
If you're in the country illegally, you're not off the table. I mean, we were looking for fugitives. There's over 1 million illegal aliens in this country who got due process at great taxpayer expense, were ordered removed by a judge and failed to leave. So they're also a priority. But yeah, I mean, we'll be moving on to those who may not be a criminal, may not be a fugitive, but they enter this country illegally, which is a crime, and they're here illegally, and they are not off the table. I want to be clear on that.
Was that guy drunk? He seemed drunk to me. Wasn't he drunk? Rewind and watch again. I think he's drunk. That's Tom Homan. He's one of these guys who's on the Trump enforcement team, and he's basically saying that even if you lived here without committing any crimes, you paid your taxes, you raised a family, you've been here for years, you're still on the chopping block. And it gets worse because he said he wants to go full Rambo.
I'll tell you this, they don't have to help us, but they need to get the hell out of the way because we're coming, we're going to do it. Which means if I got to send twice as many resources to that sanctuary city, twice as many agents, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I've been saying for the last several days that they need to study the law. They cannot help, but don't impede us and don't cross certain lines. There's a statute under Title 8 United States Code 1324 that talks about harboring and concealing an illegal alien, knowingly harboring and concealing an illegal alien from ICE. They need to read that statute and become familiar with it, because if they cross that line, there will be consequences. So, look, we're prepared to take action, but I hope they come to the table.
Don't cross certain lines? What is he, Rambo? I told you. What's he going to be? You struck first blood. What are you talking about? Is he going to roll into Chicago and start a civil war to deport people? What's his strategy? But at least some people are pushing back.
We also want to make sure that there isn't a violation of people's rights with, raids, for example, that are done in coordination with local law enforcement on people who are, frankly, holding down jobs and have been in this country for many, many years. We think that's improper. And in Illinois, that's not something that we would condone. There's been some talk about using other states' National Guard, red state National Guards to somehow come into a blue state and try and enforce these new Stephen Miller-inspired rules. And that's just not something we're going to accept.
And that was Governor Pritzker from Illinois, who's saying he ain't playing that game and that he's not letting them come in or send National Guard from red states to come to blue states. A lot of blue state governors now are getting ready to protect their immigrants. And we're at a weird place. Supposedly, the U.S. military might be at war with states. The federal military might be at war with states. Why? Because these guys are obsessed with demonizing immigrants and kicking them out and putting them in internment camps. And it's going to be horrific. It's going to be crazy. And we don't know how it's all going to play out. But thank God we got people like Governor Pritzker. Newsom in California has said it. Other states have said that they're going to step up and they're not going to go along with, as Governor Pritzker said, the Stephen Miller inspired idea of just mass deportations. It's just so crazy, because I'm not saying we don't have an immigration problem. We have an immigration problem. We need to fix it. But the main thing to think about is Congress has not dealt with it at all over many, many years. The rules haven't changed over many, many years. And just this past year, Congress had come from Republicans and Democrats together, and they came up with a bill that a lot of Democrats felt was not to their liking, but they were willing to pass the bill to give some assistance to those on the border who are saying that there's too many people coming and we need to have more resources. They were willing to do it. They were getting ready to do it. And yet, as we know, Donald Trump told the Republicans in Congress to tank it so that he could run on it. And he was successful. But the problem in America is Americans aren't smart enough to think about that and go, wait a minute, this guy bamboozled us. We've been complaining about this immigration thing, and we had a solution, or at least we were going to try a solution, and this guy said don't do it, so that then he can come around and turn this into this dark country that it's going to become, unfortunately, come next year after he's inaugurated. Because I will remind people, I, as an Iranian American, I remember during the campaign in 2016, Trump kept saying he's going to do a Muslim ban, Muslim ban, Muslim ban. And people that excused him, as they have again, people that normalized him, as they have again, they said, oh no, it's just campaign talk. He's just trying to get elected. He's not going to really do a Muslim ban. And a week after he was in, he did the Muslim ban. If you don't remember, it was chaos at all the airports. People were flying in with visas that had been approved to come into this country, and yet they were being turned away and had to go back. I was getting messages from other people saying, my parents are coming to visit me in California. They flew from Iran to, let's say, Dubai, and Dubai to Los Angeles, and they had a visa, and they would land at the airport, and the immigration officers, because of the Muslim ban, would say, please sign here. And of course, the parents don't speak English, so they just signed, and then they put them on a plane because they signed away their visa. They put them on a plane, sent them back. These things were happening. And so you got to take him for his word. And it was so poorly organized that if you don't remember, they had to do the Muslim ban over and over and over again until it became not just Muslim countries. They started adding like North Korea and some other places so that it was not a Muslim ban. And then it finally became a thing. And to this day, a lot of people from a lot of countries have a harder time coming to America because of those policies, those jingoistic policies, those policies that are not open to allowing immigrants to come in. Sometimes you hear Trump say, why don't we get the best and the brightest? Again, as an Iranian American, I can tell you a lot of Iranians who study in Iran, who are really smart students, once that Muslim ban happened, they stopped coming to America, where they would come to America, go to Silicon Valley, go to other places and be innovative. They started going to Europe, they started going to Canada. So we were losing some of the best and the brightest because of our policies. And now under this new thing that they're going to start doing to immigrants, by deporting immigrants, by saying that there's illegals in this country, a lot of the people that are in this country that they're going after are not criminals, like they said. If you're a criminal, sure, go after them. Let's get them. Let's prosecute them. By the way, the biggest threat to Americans are Americans. They're not immigrants. Americans commit a lot more crimes per capita than immigrants do. Let's just start out by saying that. And I'm not saying again that the system is not broken, doesn't need to be fixed, but the way they're planning on fixing it is gonna be crazy and ugly. What are they gonna have, like, military just from block to block, and if you're brown, they'll pull you over? Like, what's the system gonna be? And once you're arrested, then they're gonna take you into these internment camps. Remember the internment camps we had, the Japanese internment camps? We're gonna have internment camps where people from Nicaragua and Venezuela and wherever else we're deporting them back to. And those internment camps are going to be run by Trump's friends. And that guy, the other drunk guy that you saw earlier, their friends are going to own these internment camps. They're going to make a ton of money because they're going to get government contracts to create these internment camps. So whether it's in the military or they're building internment camps privately, there's going to be some serious things happening. It's all based on fear-mongering. By the way, these migrants that they're trying to kick out of this country, think about it. A lot of these people are doing the jobs that most citizens in America are not willing to do. And they're willing to take the jobs for a lower wage. So they're willing to go and pick the fruit in some state that you and I go and eat. So what do you think is going to happen to the price of goods? Those prices are going to go up. This is going to be an inflationary move, and it's going to be a dark time. What about the people that they pull over and they stop at that maybe are legal, but they just look the wrong color and they decide to give you a hard time? Trump was in an interview and they asked him about that. They said, what if somebody gets caught up wrongly into this system? He goes, well, just one person is fine. It's not fine for that one person. It's not fine for that one person's family. This demonization of immigrants is just got to stop. Many immigrants come to this country for a better life. I came to this country with my family. We fled the Islamic Revolution of Iran. We came to America for a better life. A lot of my friends have come for a better life. We're doing good. We're trying to do good. A lot of people that come to this country try to do good. They appreciate this country. They make money here. They spend money here. And the money they make here is so much they can even send money back to their mother to take care of their mom back in their old country. Many immigrants have that. But the problem is our political system, our immigration system has not been fixed, has not been updated. We still have the political asylum, which is good. If somebody comes here and they're saying they're being persecuted, we should take them in. But if you have a problem and say there's too many people that are claiming that, then fix it. Find a solution to it. Work together like they did in Congress to come up with a bill. But they tanked it. And now you got Jesse Waters that's threatening these immigrants and saying, you better get out of here before we come after you. What a bozo. Think about that. The only reason that guy can say that is because he was lucky enough to have his parents give birth to him in this country. Whatever country his family came from, if he were in another country, he'd be on the back end of that threat that he was giving. What a bozo. What an absolute bozo. And the other guy too, the drunk guy, bozo. Because they just demonize and demonize and demonize, and we can't fall for it. You got to keep pushing the fact that most immigrants in this country are here to do good. And even if they're here illegally, because that's the only way they could get in, they would love to become legal. So let's come up with pathways to citizenship for people that want to live here and work here and contribute to this country. There's so many people that have citizenship that don't deserve it. I wish we deported them. Let's start with the whole Trump family. Just deport them. They're just horrible people. And then keep going down the list with his cabinet appointments. Horrible people. Just taking advantage and steal. Get rid of Elon. Get rid of Elon. He came here illegally. He overstayed his visa. His brother said it. So who are these hypocrites? What are they talking about? Anyway, I'm comedian Maz Jobrani. I'm on tour. It's called the Mr. International Tour. You can go to mazjobrani.com. Come see me live. I'm also on YouTube. I've got my special. It's called The Birds and the Bees. Check it out. I hope you like it. And on Netflix, I've got a special called Immigrant. Check it out. Hope you like it. Bye.